Hello and welcome to the TCF Morning Show. It is Wednesday, December 16th. And this morning I am joined by Boomy at Boomy TCF and Matt Schoolfield at schools_01. I am Zach Lilia at Z Lilia. TCF, the main page is at typical_Chicago. This morning we are going to be talking about the Giannis extension. It was a 5-year extension. And I think it's great for basketball, for him to stay with the Milwaukee Bucks, and not go to go be some super team or whatever. It's good to see him stay with the Milwaukee Bucks, another good team in the East that'll be competitive for years to come. And we'll just kind of be talking about the sports world, kind of where we think the Chicago Cubs will be. Like Boomy was saying before the show, it's like a smorgasbord of did I say that right, Boomy?
A buffet.
A buffet of topics that we'll be talking about tonight. Like it's nothing specific. We're just kind of
speaking of another, a fatality of COVID buffets. Man, those things are not going to happen anymore.
They are done.
Yeah,
those
things.
Done.
That's probably not going to make a bounce back.
There is nothing better than a great Chinese buffet.
Yeah, it's a shame.
It is. But if you want to follow us on Instagram or Facebook, just type in Typical Chicago Fan. You'll find us on there. Go over the YouTube page. Here in the next few days, we'll be putting up our new food review. We did some cookies, and they were delicious. So we will be putting that out soon. So go over there, subscribe to the YouTube page, and then wherever you get your podcast from, if it's Apple, Spotify, Spreaker, anywhere, just type in Typical Chicago Fans. You will find us on there. If it's Apple, though, please subscribe, rate, and review. Give us that 5-star rating, please. We would love that. Shout out to 26shirts.com. Chicago, I got the Shmoney shirt on tonight. Yes, and Boomy's got his 26 shirt on. He's always got the one behind him. Go over there. If you use the promo code Typical Chicago Fans at checkout, you will get 15% off of your purchase. Again, that is Typical Chicago Fans at checkout for 15% off of your purchase at 26shirts.com. Chicago. Boys, how are we doing?
Doing great, man. We're almost halfway through it. Halfway through the last week of work for me for a couple of weeks. So can't complain.
Yep, I'm with Boomy. It's one more day closer to Christmas. It's getting to that point where it starts getting a little exciting, Start hearing Christmas music everywhere. You start getting the juices flowing for the holiday season. So I'm kind of pumped. See the kid, he'll be excited. So
Christmas is on a Friday. That is beautiful.
Yeah, I've had Thursday, Friday off. I'm pretty jacked about that. Nice little 4-day weekend.
Sets up for a great weekend. That's crazy. A week from Friday is Christmas. It just seems like with all this stuff going on, you just kind of lose track of time sometimes.
Yeah, you sure do.
Excited. I am excited for Christmas, giving out gifts, getting gifts. It's a great time of the year. I don't know how people are going to do it with the families or whatever, but maybe you get to see your
Amazon
family.
Deliveries.
Yeah. Oh. I at the beginning of all this quarantine, I got an Amazon Prime. Pretty much got all my gifts by the end of the week.
Yeah, it's they make it too simple. You really don't even need to leave your house at all anymore to get everything you need, like for the holiday season at least.
Yes. But let's go right into it with Giannis. He signed a 5-year, what was it? Okay. There's a Supermax and just a max now?
Yeah, certain players qualify for a Supermax. You got to meet certain criteria.
5 years, $228 million. Players are incentivized to sign with teams that they already were on, as compared to leaving and going somewhere else. Like Giannis would have got somewhere around 200 mil, but since he stayed in Milwaukee, it was 228.
I think it's awesome for the NBA that he stayed in Milwaukee. It will keep them competitive for at least 6 years here now. Who they traded for Drew Holiday?
Yes.
So they're going to be a good team. Like I said, they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, right?
Yeah, they lost to the Heat. I don't
Yeah,
remember
and
if
it
that
was
was.
it wasn't really
No,
a
that was the
competitive
semifinals.
series.
Yeah, I
What?
think that was the semifinals.
It could have been, because I'm trying to remember who was in the. Cannot
Yeah,
remember.
but either way, I mean, they've got a decent squad. I mean, they obviously add Drew Holiday. That helps a lot. But Giannis staying there, kind of helps for the parity of the NBA because obviously the big rumors out there were that he was going to go to the Lakers, he was going to go to the Warriors, stuff like that. But he stays in Milwaukee. Now, as a Bulls fan, that kind of hurts a little bit, them being in the same division. But good for the city, Milwaukee. They've historically lost good talent. I mean, go look back at Kareem Abdul-Jabbar back when he was Lou Alcindor and he, bolted for the Lakers. So, you feel a little better for a team that's, kind of lost out on talent over the years, and they get to keep their guy now for at least 5 extra years.
They did lose in the second round to the Heat. Fact check real quick. So, because the Heat beat Boston in the conference finals.
That's right.
But yeah, no, I think I'm with you guys. I like Giannis signing there. I think it's a good move for the league itself as a whole. Get some loyalty back to some of these small market teams.
Yeah, it's something that, like you said, I didn't know if he was where he was gonna go, if he was, because it kind of at the end of the playoffs was a little, you know how the media gets though. They take
They
one
definitely
thing
spun it.
they take something from Twitter or like social media. It just, and then look at this. Right before the season starts, he signs the Supermax.
Yep.
And which, like I said, will keep him in Milwaukee for at least 6 years now, which is exciting for Bucks fans, not for Bulls fans. But the Bulls get their first win of the preseason the other night against the Houston Rockets. James Harden did not play either game, but John Wall came out. He was playing really well. I think the Bulls in that second game, they played well. Patrick Williams was looking good. I'm excited for this season. Like I said, it's just awesome to see Billy Donovan as a coach.
Yeah, feels a lot better having him on the sideline. Kobe White had 20 points.
He's starting. I love.
Yes, it's where he belongs.
Why we thought Thomas Satoransky should start at any games last year?
Thomas Satoransky should play in no games.
Yeah, I forgot he was on the team.
Yeah. Yeah, he did not play on Tuesday. Or I'm sorry, was that Monday? Whatever day it was. Either way, Kobe White, like you said, had a nice one. They're making those strides. They're making those those progressions you want to see out of a team that's trying to climb out and start something new. Lauri Markkanen, though, 26 minutes, 3 points. Yikes.
That guy has got to show us something this year, dude.
Show something this year because
1 for 10 from the field.
We got some young talent on this team.
That's what LaMelo Ball members.
We got guys looking pretty good, but it's still that Lauri's still the question mark. Even last year, it was like, can Lauri turn it around and get better? And it didn't seem like he got any better last year.
Right.
And I know the season got cut short, but it wasn't cut short enough that you couldn't tell how a player was playing through a season.
Right, exactly.
I mean, the Bulls probably had, 15 games left?
Yeah, 12
roughly,
15,
probably
maybe.
Somewhere in that range. It was March, so I would say 12 to 15 games. And you go so long though, as much as anything too. It's not even the lack of games, but you go from March to basically middle of December before you play any kind of like competitive game. Like that's a long time.
Yeah, it was.
For guys that are used to playing like 10 months of the year.
Well, that and every 2-3 nights, a lot of times. So.
The team looks so much different now too, just because we got different front office now. We got a new head coach, so that is exciting for the Bulls going forward. I think the season starts on the 22nd.
Yep, about a week from yesterday.
The Bulls have 2 games in Oklahoma City against the Thunder.
And I believe they said 6 players were not traveling with the team just out of precaution or something like
because
that.
Noah, who was it? Noah Vonleh?
Yeah, they released him after he tested positive for COVID.
I saw
that.
that.
What happened to that guy, man? He was supposed to be a stud.
He was a lottery pick, and
he was like a top 15 recruit too to Indiana. He was he was supposed to be like the real deal.
He stunk.
Yeah, he did. He did. Yeah, it's how many. I mean, you could talk about guys like that forever. But it seems like Indiana. Seems like Indiana especially has a lot of guys like that.
Well, it also just shows you how hard the NBA is.
Yeah,
the NBA is so competitive, and like I said, there's only 5 guys on from each team on the court. Like that, like I said, it seems like it's got to be so hard to be a superstar in the league.
Yeah, you're definitely right. I can't deny that. But it's
but that's why there are so many people like that. Like, there's years where the number 1 pick, like maybe doesn't even pan out. Like that.
Anthony Bennett.
Yeah. That's any sport though that'll happen in.
Yeah.
But so the NBA is still, like I said, so hard to become a superstar, especially quickly. That's why I think sometimes like you take for granted what LeBron James is actually doing. Like from the time he was a freshman in high school, he was supposed to be this amazing basketball player, and he was. Like that's so hard to be that.
Yeah.
Like you don't know. Like there's a lot of people I know LeBron James, but there's a lot of people in high school basketball that might play like that. But to become what he has become is crazy. If you really, because that's right around like I'm. So how long has he been in the league for?
LeBron since 2003.
So I was 8 years old when he came in the league. So like I said,
God,
that's crazy.
Just put a bullet in me now and send me out the.
Man.
Oh my fucking God! What a punch in the face that was, Beggs.
How old were you?
I don't know, 100. No, 2003. I was 20. I was in college.
Hey, that's
LeBron's that athlete for me that like when I realized that I'm older than him, it was like that was the punch to my face. For my brother, he's older than me. His was Tiger Woods. So like when you get to that age and there's one of those athletes that's just like
it was Javi Baez.
Once you realize the dude's younger than you, you're like, oh man, I'm kind of a failure in life a little bit here.
Starlin Castro is like a year older than me, or we were born in the same year. So that's when I started to remember, started to notice it. But definitely the one where it's like the ranks. It's like, yeah, this kid's my age.
I'm trying to remember. Bryce, how old is Bryce Harper?
25-ish, 26.
Yeah, I think he's a little older now. I think he's 20. I think he's 26, 27, maybe.
I said that was one of those.
Maybe 28. Because he was a free agent last year.
Yeah, that guy went straight to Major League Baseball. That does not happen.
He's 28. Yeah.
Well, he played how long in minor leagues? He played like
a year. Not even.
Yeah. A half, or he played he got drafted in June.
Well, he went to community college. He graduated high school a year early too. Went to community college in Vegas.
So cool.
Yeah.
Went to Vegas so he could play the 1 year outside of high school ball and then be eligible for the draft. So.
And then he got drafted in June, played out his minor league season, and then got called up, I think, to start the next year.
Think about that organization too. Strasburg and Harper back-to-back drafts.
Yeah, seriously,
nuts. The way you think of getting 2 prospects like that, that
get 2 guys
transform an organization.
Right, you get 2 guys that could eventually maybe end up in the Hall of Fame. That's absurd.
Yes, totally agree.
Well, let's kind of transition into baseball. The Cubs, boys, what do you think they're going to be making any moves here in the winter meetings? Scott Boras had his virtual conference thing that I guess he always does. And he was kind of talking. I've been thinking maybe, I know with the money, but Jackie Bradley Jr. would be a good guy to look at, signing a good outfielder. Kind of maybe fill. I don't know if he played left field or not, but maybe he could play left field for us.
He's a good enough defensive outfielder. If you had to play him anywhere, he could play anywhere. He's like Gold Glove caliber outfielder.
Just imagine Jackie Bradley Jr., Ian Happ, Jason Hayward. That's a good outfield.
Yeah, that's a good outfield.
Yeah, I got no issues.
But like you said, You got to stay where the money's at. You don't want to overpay for a guy, especially in the Cubs situation, where the next few years are kind of we're going to have to see where a lot of contracts go.
Do you wonder too, with Schwarber being gone, is left field an easier position for Happ to play? Is not necessarily like known to be like a Gold Glove caliber outfielder. He's more than capable. I don't mean that he's not in any kind of way, but Jackie Bradley, like I said, is a Gold Glove caliber center fielder. If you could get equal production defensively, what you were getting from Schwarber the last couple of years, which he was more than serviceable defensively, which still makes this whole thing worse while he's gone. But with Happ playing in left, I think you could really have a damn good defensive outfield.
Very good. And don't get me wrong, Jackie Bradley's not a world beater of a hitter.
Not going to hit. But you're not paying Jason Hayward money like we talked before either.
Exactly.
With Jackie Bradley, you're just paying for what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
So I think that would be something to kind of look at. I really don't know what the Cubs are going to do. I'm tired of hearing about the Chris Bryant trades and stuff like that.
Chris Bryant's not going anywhere.
Yeah, because the Cubs are literally giving them the max that they want. And that is way more than anyone wants to give up. And that's fine to the Cubs. But that's what people keep saying, oh, they talk to the Nationals. Oh, they talk to these teams. Yeah, they probably say, give us your farm system.
Yeah, seriously.
Or something like that.
That's what they should be doing. That's what you do when you're trying to trade an MVP
people
player.
People take it out of context and go, oh, now they're looking to trade Chris Bryant. Yeah, Chris Bryant's got a few years left on his contract, and if they could get something for him maybe, knowing that he's maybe not going to sign, then that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I don't think it's crazy to say, oh, yeah, we talked to this team about what we want.
I'll say this, Zach, you're doing a disservice to your team if you don't look at those options. If you're narrow-minded enough to think that nobody on this team is – irreplaceable or, expandable. Like, you really didn't watch the games. Like, you would be an idiot to not at least listen to somebody who might have a trade offer. And if someone wants to pay up, that's fine. What I'm worried about, and I think it's showing that the Cubs are not doing, do not sell low. And I don't want to see them, making these drastic cuts. Obviously, the Schwarber one kind of hurts. But if you're going to sell guys, like Chris Bryant, or obviously Rizzo signed a contract. But you know what I'm saying? You don't sell off guys in the market that it is right now with where the financial aspect of the MLB is. And I think the Cubs are doing the right thing, and I hope they continue to do that under Jed Hoyer. You don't sell low. And we talked about Lauri Markkanen 10 minutes ago. It's not the time to trade him because you're not going to get anything for him. If you want to move a guy like that, you have to ask for the moon. And if a team is willing enough to give up on it, then so be it. If not, you keep Chris Bryant, and he's still a damn good third baseman. So,
yeah, you can't go wrong.
I can't argue with you. Can't argue with you at all.
You said it's not like they're looking to trade him for nobody. They're trying to get as much as they can. And if they say no, then they're fine with it.
Right. Exactly.
And like I said, I'm excited about the Cubs season because if you look at the division, the whole division's going backwards.
Like I've said, either every team in the division is either trying to shed salary or they're the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yeah, so I think you somehow can get Jackie Bradley Jr., and people forget what this team has. Yes, Javi had a bad year last year, but he can turn it around. Yes, Chris Bryant has had some tough years, but he can still turn it around. Like, you don't know what this team is capable of because, like I said, last year, maybe it was a weird year. Yeah, the offense, but it could look totally different this year.
Absolutely.
Hopefully.
I mean, and they could still be a damn good team. That's what's irritating. It's like they could still throw together.
Forget that.
And I'm the optimist tonight. What the hell is this?
What's going on?
I'm excited.
It must be the shirt.
It's the shirt.
It must be the shirt. There we go.
No more Schwarber though. That is sad.
It's still our left fielder.
But that was one of those things. You get sad about it because we loved Schwarber. He was a great guy, whatever. But like this is what happens. Like you couldn't keep. I mean, I still am a little why they didn't keep him for the money they could get him at. But I guess if you're looking to maybe move on, then that's just what's going to happen. You can't be sad about players all the time. You can get sad in the moment, but you can't just let it ruin a whole season. Because, like I said, this Cubs team, Wilson Contreras is still our catcher, and I think he will be our catcher, the Cubs catcher. Sorry,
one of the 3 best catchers in the game.
Yeah. So I'm still excited about it, boys. You guys got any other topics you want to talk about?
I want to throw one out real quick. Like I've talked about before, I worked in women's college basketball a lot, but back in college, we now have a new first place holder in most games coached or most games won as a coach. Tara Van Derver, the coach at Stanford, won her 1,099th game of her career the other day with a win over Pacific. She just passed Pat Summitt. She has been coaching Division I college basketball for 41 seasons. Her record is 1,099 and 253. What a unit! That is incredible.
Wow,
that's insanity. Absolute insanity.
That's 800 games above 500.
Yeah, seriously.
And
the team's ranked number 1 in the country right now. Tara Van Derver, legend.
That's awesome.
Whatever happened to didn't Kentucky used to win? Connecticut used to win like 90 games in a row.
Connecticut, but before them, Tennessee, they were both always dominant programs.
And Gino will break this record, but he's just people don't really like. Tara Van Derver's been doing it for 41 years. Gino has not been doing it.
That's so long. That's so long to do one thing.
41 years. That is insane. She's been coaching since 1979.
If I even started today, I'd be 65.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. That's another story. We've talked a lot about the bubble situation. The NFL will not have playoff bubbles, so it looks like that's going to go ahead as expected.
Did you guys see the wild card game with the Nickelodeon in it?
Oh my God!
They're gonna have slime in the end zone, but
it's all going to be
super on the players.
Yeah, it's not like they're not gonna have actual slime cannons in the. I think a lot of people on Twitter are confused.
Well,
they're not gonna be actual slime cannons.
It's not like you can. You gotta go. The players have to go change their jerseys every time they score a touchdown.
The NFL for the right amount of money would do it.
But then I think halftime is SpongeBob. So my nephews are gonna be excited for this game.
I'm sorry, Boomer. What was that?
Is that the superimposed Nickelodeon stuff? Is that something your little guy will get some interest in?
Probably not quite yet.
Yeah.
He's probably just short of that a little bit, but
hopefully they keep it going for a couple
years. My nephew is 5.
Yeah,
he's
definitely.
A big SpongeBob fan.
Yeah,
so he will like that.
We're not quite up to that point. My kid's really big into cars, trucks. Have construction equipment, tractors, any kind of vehicle at all. He likes pushing shit around and all that kind of stuff.
Maddie, I gotta ask you a question. Does your son watch Boss Baby?
We watched a couple episodes. He hasn't gotten too big into that one.
That show's pretty interesting.
I went over the other night and it was on Zach's TV, and he might have seemed like he was not trying to pay attention. He knew what was going on.
I could do a preview of a wacky web story. If you just want to go to YouTube and type in Blippi, hit search, that guy's an absolute wild card.
However, I've seen
crazy,
of him.
Crazy human being. He's like a big content creator. Did some really weird videos with his friends back in the day, but he does these kids videos now, and he's basically it's like a new age Sesame Street. He goes on adventure, goes to factories and sees how certain things are done. He goes to farms to ride tractors.
I heard it's very educational.
Dude, it is extremely educational. My kid picks up a ton of stuff from it. Just he'll do things with alphabets, numbers, just random stuff when he's watching, he'll start picking things up. And when you're trying to work, you need to occupy a kid. It's better with something where you might actually gain maybe a little bit of knowledge as opposed to going down the YouTube rabbit hole of the algorithm that sends you into Japanese anime at age 2.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Getting
Have
back,
have you guys been watching some basketball?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
College basketball?
Yep.
Illinois gets the win tonight. Were you saying something, Booby?
Kofi
Sorry.
just no, you're good. Kofi just dominated.
Yeah, and that's why me and my dad were watching the end of the game, and I go, that's why in college basketball you have to look at the team and not the record, because Illinois 4-2, I think Minnesota was 6-0,
Yeah.
and not ranked at all. Like you just gotta know who they've, and I think who they've been playing. I just think that like especially in the Big Ten, you gotta throw the record out because it's gonna be so competitive.
Yep. Absolutely.
I'm
Just
excited
definitely.
for that.
It's crazy that college basketball's only been going on for less than a month, and we're already in college or in conference play. Feels
Yeah,
like we really just started.
that's weird, but like I said, just happy that the season's going on right now. College football, you guys see the rankings? You guys have any disagreements with it?
I don't want to talk about it.
Well,
I think they're disrespecting Cincinnati, to say the least.
Cincinnati is not that good.
Cincinnati's very good, dude.
Cincinnati really beat a bad Army team.
I get what you mean, but they what if they
Son,
played
that
like
team
Iowa
played-
State?
Yeah.
You don't think Cincinnati can play with Iowa State?
I'm just saying, I don't know. I think it's a weird year, and like we're just taking an
Cincinnati's
undefeated
defense is
team.
legit, dude.
The one game I've watched like parts of their games. The only one I watched front to back was the Army game, and I was not impressed.
Yeah, well, there's a reason BYU went and played Coastal Carolina, not them, thinking they could beat Coastal Carolina. They didn't think they could beat Cincy.
But really,
And
I
look
mean,
what happened for 'em.
other than like some of the bowl games or whatever, like if you're not top four, what is it really? Like you're just gonna get a bowl game.
Yeah, you're gonna go to a conference aligned bowl game.
I mean, they're gonna get to go to a cool bowl game, but I guess I see what they are undefeated and whatever. But
I will say this: Coastal Carolina should at least be in the top 10. I mean, you got to give it. I know that the what is it, the Big South or whatever, or the Sun Belt, whatever conference it is, like it's not that good, but they're 11-0 and they beat a good BYU team. You got to at least put them in the top 10.
Maddie, do you think they should be in the top four?
Who?
Cincinnati.
No.
I think
I said they should not have gotten bounced from the top 10. I think that's asinine.
Well, yeah, but I don't know those rankings. Like
Get them in a bowl game. They deserved it. They didn't back away from anybody.
Well, they're gonna make a bowl game.
I mean, like one of the
New Year's Day.
Give them one of the big ones.
Some of those bowl games don't just go by ranking. Sometimes
I understand that, but they earned it, in my opinion.
Well, there's still another week of rankings to come out. Did they already play their
Big
conference
10 teams
championship?
playing 4 games and shit? I mean, come on.
Yeah, basically the Big Ten said if your game doesn't mean anything, we're not going to play it.
And that sucks because you can't get mad at the teams for what their conference made them go through.
Yeah,
like Ohio State. I mean, if they played Illinois, and I can't remember who else. They're supposed to play Michigan too. I don't know. It's not their fault that they couldn't go out there and play.
Yeah,
I know. I'm just saying. Whatever.
I
4 or 5.
I know. I just saw a lot of the Cincinnati stuff too.
I just hate it. The same teams every year.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Expand the playoffs.
MLB,
get 8 teams. Give people
back to baseball real quick. MLB allegedly wants to possibly delay the season, the start of the season until May, and hopefully that more vaccinations will be out. They can get people into the stands. You guys like that?
Yes.
Yeah, especially if the NBA and the NHL are going on, then I'm perfectly okay with it.
Yeah, definitely.
I would love to be at Wrigley Field. It'd be awesome.
Definitely. If they can get it, if they can make it work, let's do it. I'm sick of staying in my house all summer. I can tell you that.
Yeah, and it's
in my house, but at my house, or can't do anything. Stupid.
So you play 135 games. I've always thought the MLB season is just a little too long. So you're not really losing. You're losing a month of bad weather baseball You start spring training a little bit later, and you actually are able to get fans into your stadiums and make some of your money back. Look at this, financial situations of a lot of teams. So you don't. I personally don't hate the idea. Last one I'll throw out. I feel like I'm taking the reins, and it's not what I'm trying to do. But on another
just
side,
take them, Boomy. Just take them. Let it roll.
All right. Well, did you guys see the video of the kid from Florida on Saturday collapsing in
nuts.
Been in a medically induced coma? But good news, he is awake. He's communicating with his family. So good things going in positive going that way. That was scary as hell.
Yeah, hate to see that stuff, man. That's just unbelievably scary stuff. Just unbelievably scary.
He just staggered.
A guy that is so fit. I mean,
those are the things with what's so going on. We don't know what's going on, like behind, like long-term effects of these things. This kid had COVID a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
You just hope it's something that's not related with that, because that's just, man, it's just really, really scary.
That is scary. But like I said, I saw he was like FaceTiming his teammates and stuff, and
that's awesome. Though. Glad he's doing well.
Boomy, do you have a wacky web story for us?
I sure do, and kind of in preparation of us having a smorgasbord show, I actually have 3, so I'm going to let you guys pick. Do you want the treasure hunter that's in prison, the FDA okaying an over-the-counter COVID test, or the high school kid that tackled the referee?
I want the first one, because I knew about the
treasure hunter going to prison.
I know about the second 2 already.
Okay. Well, to sum up the other 2, the FDA has approved a over-the-counter. If you need a COVID test and you can't find out where to get one, you can buy one over the counter now. And the other one, the kid that was in the viral video a couple weeks ago that tackled the referee, is banned from all athletic sports in the state of Texas indefinitely. So, getting back
to college then too, huh? Because he's playing a pretty well recruited kid, I believe.
Yeah, from what I understand, we'll see what happens with that situation. But a former resident of the state of Ohio, who is a treasure hunter, is going to spend 5 years behind prison bars. He has refused to reveal the location of 500 gold coins that have been missing in a historic shipwreck. He is a research scientist. Tommy Thompson, what a name, Tommy Thompson.
Former governor of Illinois.
I don't think so. But he has been stuck in federal prison since 2015 in contempt of court. He was basically he took in like $12 million worth of investment to find this buried treasure, and he just kind of ran away. He started in 1998 looking for the SS Central America, which sank off of the coast of South Carolina in 1857 with thousands of pounds of precious metals aboard. He had a group of 161 investors that paid him $12.7 million to find the ship of gold, and they all later sued him because they never saw any returns. And in 2012, he was ordered to disclose the whereabouts of the treasure. He refused to do it, was held in contempt of court, ran away once he got out, and was found 3 years later living in a Hilton in West Boca Raton with his lady friend. And he's been in prison ever since because he refuses to tell the judge where this they say he knows where it's at. He's found it. And he just refuses to tell them where it's at so that they can move on with their lawsuit of money against him that he took from investors. So it sounds kind of like
he doesn't know where it's actually at.
It's a possibility, but he claims he knows where it's at.
Oh, well,
but he just
wants different.
Yeah, kind of a scumbag.
Definitely.
Yeah, it sounds like it's pretty avoidable.
And honestly, it's so weird. And this, I think, is what the lawsuit is over. He raised $12.7 million in investments. The treasure's only worth $4 million.
Something doesn't seem right there.
No. That's a scam artist. So Tommy Thompson's going to do it. He's 68 years old. He'll be in prison until he's at least 73, or at least he tells people where the treasure of the SS Central America is. Tough week to be a treasure hunter.
Yeah, not good.
Good job title, though. What do you do for a treasure hunter?
Yeah.
I'm basically Indiana Jones.
Yeah, exactly. You ever heard of him?
Yeah.
Anything else post
Dr.
show, boys?
Jones.
Well, actually,
Yeah.
one thing post show, me and Boomy and Maddie and a few other guys are going to be doing a TCF fantasy basketball draft tonight. So we're gonna kind of like live stream maybe, or Facebook Live, the last maybe 5 minutes of the real draft, and then we'll kind of have a talk about the draft. Maybe get some guys that are in the league in the comments. Hopefully we can get Maddie on. And we'll have to see how long it takes or whatever. But we're just gonna kind of recap it, say who we think you're gonna win, me, and just kind of talk about it a little bit. Like I said, that'll be on the Typical Chicago Fans Facebook page. So if you want to check that out, I think the draft's at 7, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then
we'll be on
probably
Facebook Live
8.
around 8:15, 8:30-ish. We're going to recap the draft. I'm going to tell you how great my team is and how I'm going to make sure Matt does not win this league.
It'll be 8 or so. We'll kind of have to see how long the draft takes. But yeah, Least, your commissioner?
No, it's more like scammissioner.
Co-commissioner.
That sounds bad, Maddie.
Scammissioner.
You're not starting off talking very, very respectful to the co-commissioner.
Yeah, it's co-scamish.
Better watch your tone, pal.
Speaking of that, we'll have our picks, NFL picks week. Is it 15?
14, I think.
14?
I don't know.
We'll have our picks
NFL.
We should do it live during the draft recap show.
Oh, it is week 15. I'm losing it.
Yeah, maybe instead of a show on Thursday, we'll just kind of do that at the end of during the show too. Does that work, Boomy?
Yeah.
We'll do that.
Why not?
And then we'll put the stream out as the morning show. How about that?
That works great.
Works great. I'm trying to think of anything else that we want to talk about. I don't think there's anything left.
I think that's it.
Make a quick run here through my notes. Nope, I think we're good. And by notes, I mean the news section of the Score app.
Well, I've been joined by Boomy at BoomyTCF on Twitter and Matt Schofield at schools_01. I am Zach Lilia at ZLilia. TCF, the main page is at typical_Chicago. Instagram, Facebook, just type in Typical Chicago Fans. You will find us on there. Go over to the YouTube page. Like you said, we're going to have a food review coming out here in the next few days that me and Boomy have done. We're going to be doing a lot of different parts of that. We got a lot of different cookies. We didn't want to do them all in one video, but we'll have that out hopefully in the next few days. Go subscribe to the YouTube page, and then wherever you get your podcast from, if it's Apple, please subscribe, rate, and review. Anywhere else, just type in Typical Chicago Fans. You will find us on there. Anything else, boys? Oh, sorry. 26shirts.com. Chicago got the shirt on here. Boomy's got the shirt on and the shirt behind him. If you want a shirt just like that, all for a good cause, go over to 26shirts.com. Chicago. Use the promo code Typical Chicago Fans at checkout for 15% off of your purchase. Again, that is Typical Chicago Fans at checkout for 15% off of your purchase at 26shirts.com. Chicago. Boys, anything else?
Let's have a beautiful Wednesday.
Let's. Like I said, Boomy is now my trainer, I guess, and I
have to work tomorrow.
I hopefully, like I said, can get out of bed. So this has been the TCF Morning Show, Wednesday, December 16th. We love you all.
Peace.
See you.